Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 8 of The Local Poor. I'm Daniel, with me is Brownlee.
Hey y'all, I'm Brownlee. Today we're gonna talk about conspiracy theories. First, I want to get on Eddie. You told me February 28th it was gonna be a blackout. What happened?
So it was Simpsons conspiracy, and
Simpsons are always right.
Simpsons always quote unquote predict the future.
It wasn't this time.
And they were not right this time. But hey,
They're
you know what?
hit and miss.
Even Nostradamus doesn't get every one of them correct. You know.
We also have a guest today, James, which is Daniel's brother-in-law.
How's everybody doing?
We're doing great, James. So James here is what would you say?
A genius.
A genius?
I
I
won't
call
go
him
that
a
far.
He knows more than I do, and I'm not a genius. Well, I'm almost a genius.
Well, I mean, I would say you're
wouldn't go
more
that
like
far
Rain Man. You know what I mean?
Still wouldn't go that far, but
Oh.
All right, so February 28th, what happened?
Yeah, so the Simpsons predicted there was supposed to be a big blackout. Like in all these different episodes the videos that we saw, they were timelined in, talking about, hey, in this episode, it's talking about the end of the world, and the date that Lisa has on a calendar is February 28th, 2025. There was another one where Homer's power plant goes dark, same thing, in the background of the calendar, February 28th, 2025.
they're still hit and miss. They've predicted some things aren't predicted, and some things that they have predicted never happen. So
All I'm saying is Josh is glad it didn't happen, but he told me, he was like, man, had that power went out, I would have flipped out.
I would have.
That just means you get to leave work early.
nah, they still keep us there at work.
Yeah, that would have kept us there.
They'd be flipping the generator on the tri-pack on the trucks.
Well, I mean, you could always plug up somebody's truck who's there like every day at 12 and at 2. But just to put some air in the shop. But anyway, regardless of that. So we got James on to talk about conspiracy theories, right?
Yep.
So so on the conspiracy side, it depends on what you're wanting. You got your 9/11 conspiracies.
Oh, I like that.
Those are like your normal, like Bush
Top
did
of the
9/11. Yeah.
iceberg.
Then you get further down. Then you get like to ancient civilizations. Like if you've ever seen in any culture around the world, there's always either a statue, a stone carving of a person with a handbag. Technically, they're called handbags of the gods. So there's two sides. The mainstream is basically what they're holding is the cosmos. The square is the earth. The half circle for like the handhold is the sky or the sun. Others say it is people who bring technology to them from like lost civilizations, because we know during the last ice age at the end there was something called the Younger Dryas impact. We know that during that time there was meteor impacts that happened, caused massive amounts of water to melt away. So could there have been civilizations living out near the oceans and then get lost when oceans rise up and they're lost to history? And those could be survivors bringing knowledge. Never really know with this stuff, but it's always something strange because it always comes up in every civilization around the world, no matter where they're at. It's always there.
There was even some evidence of this same kind of carving in the Middle East, like, I forget,
You're talking about Göbekli.
Göbekli Tepe or something like that.
It's in Turkey.
It's in Turkey. It's an ancient civilization that's dated back to 11,000 years ago.
Yeah, right at the end of the Ice Age, basically. But the problem is,
Same kind of carving. And this carving is everywhere.
yeah, and it's in China. It's on the islands of Maui. It's on or Maui,
Mexico,
Maori Islands,
all
Mexico.
throughout the United States.
But the problem is too, is Göbekli Tepe. When you look at it, it was buried like by people.
Right.
So they hid it to keep it from something. So no one knows why they buried. Some say cataclysms to keep it
Get the
safe.
hell out of here with this, man.
What do you mean?
y'all really believe?
I'm pretty old and I carve
No,
mine
basically
in the
what
wall.
it's saying is that people came here to deliver that knowledge.
Yeah, it's and
You know,
you can
I
look
mean,
at
like
it.
the advancements of technology. Like it was like this, and it was like the dark
You're
ages.
not like
and then
thinking
boom.
of like, oh, they're coming in with computers or something like that.
Right.
It could be just people coming to like like there's uncontacted tribes in the Amazon. Like
So aliens.
people say aliens, but I don't believe that.
You call
He's wild.
aliens aliens?
aliens. I mean, some people call them gods.
They do that because you had a few cults pop up around that. You had a few who believe, what is it, Sirius, or there's some Orion's belt. There's some damn star system that they believe a bunch of aliens come from.
So you don't believe in aliens?
I
I do, but
I
I
got a bone
don't.
to pick with this one.
Oh, let's hear it.
I mean, he doesn't even believe in dinosaurs.
Don't get me on.
Well, let's not get started on that. Let's
We gotta
save
wait on
that
that
for
one.
that one.
Aliens. I feel like. I mean, I've been outside all hours of the days, nights, weeks, years, everything. Never seen a UFO that everybody thinks. Oh, we've seen one go over Georgia. Nah. Show me. Okay. Well, I do have. I mean, partial. Of okay, why are we going to Mars? Why are we going here? Why are we sending these big money spaceships out to go inspect another planet? There may be somebody out there, but I don't believe in it
Because you never seen it.
because I hadn't seen it with my eyes.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people with that same philosophy.
I mean, like I said, I believe there are aliens out there, but I don't believe there is.
So you believe that there's a possibility
Yes.
that there could be.
Yeah.
There's other.
Other-
I think there's other humans. We don't go to Mars for no reason. We don't spend the money we spend to go to Mars or wherever we go for no reason. I just want to see it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Are you?
that same principle
I'm
could be
partial.
applied to why would Europe send colonizers over to the Americas? Why would you go that far? Basically, what I see it is the reason we're going to Mars is the same reason Europe sent colonizers over to America. We're going to colonize planet. We get the resources from there. We get more space. We get everything.
The only aliens I know is south of the border.
I'm not cutting that out.
Hey, I'm just letting you know.
Talking about, can we cut that out?
I mean, they're labeled aliens.
Getting off topic for 1
Here
second.
we go. Josh and his bullshit.
You do know On the Border's closed, right?
Oh yeah, closed all their Georgia locations on
Yeah.
the
On the
border.
border? Oh, my
Yeah.
mother-in-law's going to be upset. That's her favorite
What,
place.
they go bankrupt or something?
Yep.
Yeah, bankruptcy.
You know why? Because they were on the border. Where'd you learn that?
Back, huh?
I saw it on like Fox 5.
I saw it on Facebook.
Believe everything on Facebook.
Oh no.
You never know. I mean,
Nathan tells everybody that he's a good worker on Facebook. All right, baby Nate. Look at him smile. He's turning red. Might be his pink shirt he's wearing. Anyway, Eddie, what do you think about Mars?
Well, I don't really see how they're saying that we're really going to get to Mars, right? Whenever we allegedly went to the moon. But now we don't have that technology. They're like, oh, we have to get back to the moon before we can get
No,
to
just
Mars.
A company just the other day in Texas managed to land another lander on the moon.
Show me proof.
They had the video. It was going around Twitter. I can look it up again, but and
They just, you know what they did? They built a big old pile of cheese that has the big holes in it, and they called it the
Well, I mean, I just don't see how
damn cheese.
in 1969, right, that they had the technology to take like that lander, a car, right, and send video.
19 what?
1969.
That's when my mom was born.
And send
Damn, she's
send that video back with no
audio.
well, no, I mean it was like one small step for
Isn't
man.
that what we was watching that one
Two
day?
small steps for squirrels.
So
where it was showing like it could be fake and not.
Yeah,
really
well, I mean,
real.
I don't
Okay.
think it's
so
real.
the
You
theory
think it's real?
the
I don't think it's
conspiracy
real.
theory
Oh, you think
behind
it's
that
fake?
is basically at that point Russia had basically the Soviet Union had basically sent everything had beaten us at everything except for landing on the moon. The main thing is people will always point to like, okay, look, we're getting our asses handed to us by the Soviet Union. But if we land on the moon, say, hey, we landed on the moon first, it doesn't matter what they've done until that point, we've won. But when you start looking at the old videos, you see wires sometimes popping up behind them. You see them it doesn't look right. But that could be chalked up to how crappy the technology was back then.
What about the people that went out in the spaceship that were supposed to be gone for a couple of days and they've been gone for 8 months?
Yeah, they're still on the International Space Station.
We
Don't
have-
get me started on the International Space
You're
Station.
telling me that
there's a ton
you're
of
telling
videos.
me Elon Musk can't fly up there and get them real quick.
You know what? He offered
And they didn't do it.
and they declined.
You know why? There's something wrong.
They offered,
They're
declined.
dead.
Offered, declined. No,
They
they're supposed
had
to be
an
back.
interview with them just here recently.
I think they're supposed to be back here.
How do you go out? So you're telling me we pack spaceships with enough food for a year?
Yes.
Send them up
Well,
there
you gotta
just
think,
in case they get
most of the stuff they get set up there with is freeze-dried, prepackaged
Yeah.
MREs that'll last damn
No, bro, you better come get me.
decades. Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't last in the military.
Hey, he offered to go get him.
That's what I'm saying. That there's something we don't know. That he's not human. I don't believe Elon is a human.
Okay.
He is too smart to be a human.
Right.
no, you get those every once in a while who are too smart.
if he's a
Named his kid X.
What if he's
YZ.
what if he's a time traveler, you know?
He's smart.
As
Shout out to Elon.
Just because
Yeah, I mean,
you're
not a
smart
sponsor,
doesn't
but
mean
could
you
be.
got the-
Definitely could sponsor.
Not a sponsor, but should be.
I mean, back then during the moon landing, so much stuff was thought of as conspiracies back then because you had around that time was Vietnam.
Yeah.
You had the big Vietnam conspiracy of the Gulf of Tonkin incident that became actual truth when it came out through declassified documents that America basically shot its own ship to join itself into the war against Vietnam. So you had more and more stuff during that time that were considered conspiracy theories that later on became true.
True. Yeah.
We shot our own ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They
here's
did
the thing: is this
They
is
basically did a gun run on, I think it was it the USS Cole? It was a ship in the Gulf of Tonkin, so they did a gun run on it. Basically, they put a few rounds onto it, and then they said, "Oh, look, the North Vietnamese attacked us. Time to jump into the war."
Speaking of shooting down ships, let me tell you a funny story about my job. So I cut grass for a living. You know the stupid little flags the locators put in people's yards?
Yeah.
We be cutting them down all the
Yeah.
time.
I hit them with a lawnmower. Guess what? Slings them into the sidewall of the tire and blows the tire out. There's plugs in every tire on every lawnmower on the right side.
just slung those. Just,
I mean, it just spins them around, sticks them in the sidewall. Bites me in the ass every time.
so just shot your own.
Shot a hole
ship.
in my ship.
Yep.
Anyway.
But it's more about for propaganda for them, right? So, we have to beat everybody to the moon. So we beat everybody to the moon.
Yep.
And just to make, hey, America had that moment. And you know when America had that moment too? The day after 9/11. When everybody was like, oh, America this. But
Now
there's tons of video on that.
you got to think you had tons of video, and then when they're clearing up Ground Zero, they just managed to find a perfectly preserved passport of one of the hijackers just sitting there on the ground, laying there, and then like, oh look, now we've got our little war goal here. We know where they're from, but the problem is, it was like 11 or 12 of them. Out of it, like 9 or 10 of them were Saudis. So if we're going to go to war with someone, you would think we'd go to war with the country that they came from, but instead we decided to jump into Afghanistan and then jump into Iraq for, I guess, giggles.
coming after that oil. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they said
Coming after that oil.
well, they said it was for WMDs, which we all know is a lie. All it was basically, I think Bush Jr. was pissed that his daddy didn't get to have his old war back in the day with
Bush
Saddam.
Light?
With Saddam.
Oh, what? Not Bush Light?
Jr.
Oh.
And Bush daddy didn't get to have his war with Saddam. So he jumped back in for whole another war.
Yeah.
So
So, don't get me started on that,
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I just texted my wife. She's in the house. But I believe one of her family members has their name on a plaque on the moon, supposedly. They're from California, though, so they're different people. They're like aliens, kind of.
Yeah.
They're similar.
Yeah.
They have their own world out there.
Yeah.
Can't have a deleted diesel out there, all that stuff.
You can delete your penis out there, but you can't delete
Not your diesel. You cannot delete your diesel. It's not his family. He's from Texas.
No, I know it's not his family.
Oh man, I'm dead.
But I'm still, my thing is
I'm not saying that that subsequent trips to the moon didn't happen.
we tried.
But what I'm saying is that initial, hey, we're on the moon, didn't happen.
I feel like a trip to the moon is similar to a trip to Atlanta at 5 p.m.
Yeah, just
Very hard to make it happen.
yeah.
I agree.
You don't ever drive after 5 p.m.
He does.
Yes, I do. I drove here.
Yeah, you were late.
Speaking of that, we got but daylight savings coming up.
I know. I'm
I
right.
heard there's mixed emotions on that on the news today.
they've been talking about
People
They've
don't
been
like
talking about-
so they're talking about getting rid of it, but there's two reasons. People like to have longer days with more daylight. But there's also people that don't like taking their kids to school in the dark.
Yeah.
They have headlights on cars.
Yeah.
They work.
Man, and then if you want to, you can put a light bar on that thing.
Shit. Like that
Just go
one
ahead and
on
throw a
that
light
razor,
bar on
like
that
the one,
Lexus.
like the one on that
I'm
razor
good.
that don't run.
I'm good. That doesn't run because it's not hooked up.
Overheating.
Hey,
Did you get that
we're
probe?
Not, we're not talking about that, man. We
Oh,
talk.
we talk about
we're talking
riding
about-
too much,
we're-
apparently.
We're
No,
talking.
I wanted to move on to different things.
Right.
All right, so let's go next to conspiracy. All right, we got the moon. I'm partial to Mars. I don't believe some of it, but here we are.
So I want to know why you don't believe in dinosaurs.
Oh man.
Come on.
right.
We the people want to know
The only dinosaur that I believe in is an alligator.
but that had its
why.
ancestor during the dinosaurs.
But you're telling me all you guys, men, are telling me at this table that a fucking dinosaur walked down this road, wasn't a road at the time, that was 17 stories tall,
I don't think it was that tall.
10 stories tall, 2 stories tall. That makes me feel better. 20 foot tall, okay?
Okay.
And just pranced down the road and did what they wanted to do. Something that big, breathing animal. There's no proof. You can tell me that these
Go to a museum.
You can say these are fossils. I can pick up a rock out of my yard and chisel a fucking footprint in it and call it a fossil.
You can pick up geodes off of like slate beaches where they get the slate rock from, pop them open, and they're still they're basically called nodules. So it's like a piece of slate rock. When you break it open, there's fossils inside of it, slate rock.
I don't see a dinosaur that big walking through the woods. You can't tell
You gotta
me.
think it back then. Everything would
The
be
biggest
bigger,
animal
so
I've ever
everything would
seen
be
is a
biggest.
giraffe, and they're not a dinosaur or
And there
an
are-
elephant.
There's a valley. There's a dried riverbed, there's a dried riverbed in Texas where you can go and look at. There's still prints in the rocks of where dinosaurs were at.
You're telling me somebody didn't make a footprint on a concrete thing and just stick it
Not
down
when
there
you're.
and call it?
It would be in the bottom of a riverbed. So you're going to go
Swim
down
it.
there, swim down to the bottom of the riverbed, pour concrete.
That
out,
wasn't a
while
river at one time,
simultaneously-
though.
Nope, it wasn't.
So
But this river has been there since time immemorial, since before, probably around the time of dinosaurs.
you know why I don't believe in Godzilla or not Godzilla
Godzilla.
Oh,
right.
Godzilla. Well, I mean, I don't believe in
Godzilla,
Godzilla either.
and big animals like that because my wife had a lizard named GZ Godzilla,
Yeah.
and he was about 8 inches long,
Yeah.
4 inches wide,
Yeah.
and 0 foot tall.
Yeah.
Not even an inch tall. He laid on his stomach all the time. There's no way there was animals that big.
Well, I mean, what about
and by your
you can
same
go out and
logic,
see?
giraffes
You can
shouldn't
go out and
exist.
see, like in the Bahamas, like in that area, like Komodo dragons that are huge.
But
Yeah, but they're the size of
by
my
your
dog.
by your same logic,
I
giraffes.
know. So I
shouldn't
mean,
exist.
there's
I'm not.
how is there? You're look
I'm
at
not
that size
believing,
to that size.
I'm
but-
not believing that it's 3 stories tall. I'm not believing that it's the size of my truck.
Well, you got to think back then things would be bigger. So by that same standard, by what you're saying is, in your own thought process, giraffes aren't real.
Giraffes are real.
No,
They're the
because
biggest animal I've seen.
because they're 2 stories tall.
They're not 2 stories tall.
Have you seen a giraffe?
Yes, I've been to the zoo a few times.
So by that logic, then you should also think humpback whales don't exist because you've never seen a humpback
You're
whale.
telling me a pterodactyl flew through the air, screeching and screaming like a little hawk.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's the noise it was making, but
Good job, Brownlee. I just don't see it. You know, I've been told.
I mean, look at some of
I've
how
been
big some of the
told
birds are now.
They're not. Yeah, but they're like the size of a stingray at the biggest.
There's a
You seen the size of a bald eagle, right?
Yeah,
If you, I don't know what
There's a-
country it
they're
is.
kind of bald like you.
Anyways,
there's the Eurasian eagle owl, and that it gets. I think its wingspan is like 12
is that
foot.
the
or,
really huge one?
Yeah,
yeah.
that-
That thing is huge.
like it'll pick up children and fly away with them.
Like it can kill a wolf.
Never mind.
Or there's birds that live up in the Alps and Europe that'll pick up like goats and shit, and then drop them onto rocks to kill them so they can eat them easier.
I've been told I'm not the smartest person somebody knows, but I still don't believe something that big was flying through the air. Besides the airplane.
You get big, and if it's big enough, it can lift itself up.
I mean, like look at the size of the picture of this condor.
That's normal. That's
not-
like a
That's bigger than that guy.
that's
that's
like
not-
an emu on
that's not
steroids.
No, that's a flying bird though.
That's a flying bird. That's not.
Yeah, but it's not.
But it's as big. It's bigger than that person.
He's only 4.5 foot tall.
Oh, whatever.
He's like you.
Oh, okay.
All right, we've got enough picking on me. I don't believe in it until I see proof. And I've been to those places that show you that, oh, these are fossil. What's that place called? We went on a field
Museum.
trip. We went on a
Fern Bank.
Fern Bank.
Yeah.
Them jokers chiseled that out of some concrete with a damn chisel and a hammer and called it a damn footprint. That's my thought process.
Well.
I'm pretty dumb, though.
To each his own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what you won't believe.
Josh believes that his Lexus is fast. Guess what?
Yeah, he can get it up good speed.
Look at him.
You want to try me?
Yeah, I'll race you right now.
I'm good. I don't do that. I don't do that. I'm not trying to.
I got in trouble last night for racing a truck from a red light. My wife was really mad. My little girl in the back seat, go, Daddy, go. She said, you do this often? I said, yeah. Next conspiracy. Brownlee, come on.
I don't have it because
What?
my thing is I don't know if I believe in them. I don't think I do. Well,
You don't have like
I
Jay-Z's,
don't.
the Illuminati.
Hit me with
I
it.
don't believe in the Illuminati.
I don't believe that.
Well, what about like the Bilderberg group?
Now that I do
the
believe.
what?
The Bilderberg group. It's a meeting.
Build-A-Bear?
Nope.
No.
What it
So
sound
basically, it's
It's like a group of like world leaders.
Yeah, it's world
and like
leaders.
top
Yeah.
corporate
like?
execs.
I don't believe the Pope's still alive.
they're usually pretty good about choosing their next little.
Have y'all seen it
master.
on the news? He had COVID, pneumonia,
They're usually
asthma.
they're
something.
usually pretty good about choosing their next puppet master. So
Train's coming. Choo choo.
then you got your.
Hold on, James. We got the train coming.
No, it's gonna be a second.
Train kind of far away though. But it'll be right here in a second.
Yeah, it'll be here in just a second,
You have that. Then
and it's loud.
you got your Pearl Harbor was a conspiracy that we knew and wanted to jump in the war, and we got our wish.
Y'all don't think that was real either? No.
Pearl Harbor, it was real, but America knew like
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and basically they wanted to get into the war, but they didn't.
American people didn't want to get into World War II. They wanted
Yeah,
to be isolated.
basically after World War One, the American people were like, "Fuck Europe, let them destroy each other." That's the best thing that can happen.
So they needed an event that would make the American people want to go to war.
Because you look at it like the sinking of the Lusitania, that was another big conspiracy.
Or are you talking about or the sinking of the Titanic, right? Which was really
Titanic was
the Olympic,
And all the people that were on it were
or J.P. Morgan's like the people he was like
yeah.
You know,
going against.
I believe.
and you know
we
he got off.
talked about it.
He got off
He
the boat.
just left before. He's like, "Oh no, I had to get off."
But all his home, all the people he was going
The
against.
Federal Reserve.
now we got the Federal Reserve.
I believe that they
Yeah.
blew holes in the bottom of it like they are that one fucking ship, the USS, whatever they just brought down from wherever to make it a reef. I think they had dynamite in the bottom of it.
No. It was a old liner. They were already in the red heavily because of how much it cost to build, and so they had an insurance claim on it.
Happened to raise the insurance on it before.
Yeah, before it sank. Yeah.
The same way on the 9/11 on the buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happened to raise all the insurance.
Yeah, for terrorist attacks.
This country's in jeopardy.
But then you
Well,
have
listen. I also want to go ahead and just say that I have like a perfect driving record. You know what I mean? So if I get in any kind of car accident,
do not.
If I get in any kind of car accident, it was yeah. I'm not, and I would not kill myself. So I just want to go ahead and put that out there. So if anybody is listening to this
you
podcast,
don't want to shoot yourself 5 times in the back of the head.
Right.
Like, oh, it was
Right.
a suicide.
so
He just kept shooting.
I'm not getting into any lethal car accidents or any.
Like the cop, whenever the explosion in Oklahoma, the
Yeah.
state trooper that was investigating that wound up. He drug himself down the road. Then he sat up next to a tree and shot himself with a shotgun. And then he hit the gun and died. And they still haven't found the gun.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah, it makes perfect sense to me because I could do all of
I
that.
lost all my guns in a boating accident.
That's a little bit.
He's not driving tonight.
Oh, I imagine he's not. He's probably gonna fall asleep on the couch again.
He slept there for a day.
I've been doing really, really good.
Since we got back from riding.
Huh?
Since we got
Hey, we're not talking about riding anymore, and we got the train.
we can talk about
and we
riding.
got the train coming through.
I'm talking about.
What do you think? I mean,
I'm dinosaured out.
So
that's your only conspiracy was the dinosaur.
Oh, no. I got one. The flat fucking earth my wife believes in.
Okay, well,
Oh, what-
flat Earth is.
Oh, hold on, whoa! Let's save it for the train. Let's save it till after the train leaves.
Are you mixing Bush Light and fucking Jim
If
Beam?
you actually look into it,
Sprite.
you can
Sprite, bro.
almost say, "Oh, I can see where they're coming from." You know, like if you,
Right.
especially the air traffic. You know,
Yeah.
Well, the problem is.
Whoa! Let's just
Yeah.
save it. Let's just save it. All right. So now that the train's gone by, you say that you have one
Flat
flat
earthers.
Earth.
And I want everybody, when this podcast gets posted on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, anything you can comment on, I want to hear your opinions about the flat earth because my wife believes that the earth is flat.
I don't believe it. It's not. They even had like some big time flat earthers do some experiment basically saying there's no way the earth will bend, so we're going to shine light through this tunnel basically, and if it doesn't bend, then it means the earth's flat. If it does bend, then we're back to square one. And then they did it, and it bent.
They were like, I can't see it,
Yeah,
and then
the
they were like,
light
hold it up a little bit, and then they could see it.
Yeah, the
What
light
about
bent.
what about when they say the earth rotates one full time? Well, a flat fucking earth don't rotate.
Unless it's just spinning.
A
it's
ball
round.
rotates.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I
sphere,
mean, here's the
a
thing:
ball.
is that with the flat Earth, I mean, the sun would just
it
Yeah,
can
maybe like
rotate.
it's one of those
but-
Beyblades or something. When we were a kid, they spun around, they were flat, but they were
Right.
coned at the bottom.
He got a point. But I mean, I think the
I'm
Earth is
sa-
round. So
you think the Earth's round? You don't think it's an ice wall
nah.
I want everybody
with
to
other lands outside of the ice
Okay,
wall?
so the Antarctic conspiracy theories is kind of interesting. If you start looking into it, so basically after World War II, America and the Soviet Union once again were basically trying to rush the Antarctic, basically claiming.
Well, really, the Nazis.
yeah, the Nazis.
The Nazis were really
They had U-boat
in,
bases up
like
there.
Hitler was super into the occult.
Yeah.
Like super into it. And he
They
was like
believed
trying to find like all these religious artifacts, all this stuff, and then he was like making a big push to Antarctica.
Yeah, like if you read anything on like any of Hitler's like top generals, like Himmler and stuff like that, they were real big, deep occultists and stuff like that. So the Antarctic thing is basically it was Admiral Byrd.
Yes.
He went up to Antarctica and basically said they went up there. There's a hole in the middle of Antarctica, and when they got close to it, ships flew out and attacked their boats.
So hollow Earth.
So hollow Earth is a big conspiracy theory that there's basically it's like layers on Earth. You have your top layer, which we're at, and then you have like a middle layer and then a bottom layer. And I guess when we got close to it, the ships flew out, attacked our ships, and then flew back into the hole. So that's why you see like every major nation around the world has a big treaty to not go and mess anywhere around Antarctica. Like there's a few little like small research outposts, but nothing like major like military installations.
What do you mean flew?
You ever heard
So
of flying
anyway-
before?
So anything like that, that's kind of like where you delve into like your alien conspiracy theories too. And then you have flying UFOs, you have saucers, you have things like that. So that's where you kind of get into that. Is that you have other conspiracies that there's underwater bases where UFOs will come out of the water. It's interesting.
There's a ton of, I mean, hollow Earth, but we'll go back to the flat Earth. You know, the UN's logo is a flat Earth. Like, that's their logo. It's like a flat
Oh, I
Earth.
never even noticed that.
Yeah. And then, like, if you look at this map, and then, like, you look at whenever planes have to divert, you're like, why would you have to go, why would you stop in this country that was be completely out of the way, but if you put it on the flat Earth, it lines up perfectly.
It ain't flat.
So
I mean, if it's flat, then then you got to believe and probably got to believe in the firmament, you know.
So I think the reason it'll go across it is because the Pacific Ocean is so massive that there's a point in the Pacific Ocean called Point Nemo. If you want to look it up, look it up. Basically, if you're in Point Nemo, the closest thing anything will be to you that is a human being will be on the International Space Station. That's how far out into the water you are. So I can see why they basically go around the Pacific Ocean, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense. Because if that was the case, why not build a massive airport in, say, Alaska or British Columbia, and then you can jump through there down into Japan or down into Russia, and then Japan, China, and everything like that. So it's interesting and strange at the same time, where you can see where it's coming from, but at the same time, it kind of, I don't know.
It's not flat.
Yeah, it's round. The Earth is
About
round.
as
you
round,
think it's
it's
round?
about as round as Brownlee's head.
So then
know
what
that.
about? I hear you. That big head, that watermelon head.
They're like cantaloupe.
I'm telling you, look like some bruised fruit, you know.
Get out of here with that, man. Get out of here.
So then, what about? There's also like that we are. What about the Mandela effect? How y'all feel about that?
I think it's real because
You know, where something you remember something specifically, but everybody else remembers it a different way. Like, was Sinbad really in a genie movie?
He was.
It's Sinbad.
The comedian, the black comedian
or
Sinbad.
if you're,
Now,
I don't know.
Hey,
I don't watch TV.
he'll say that he was never in that movie.
Dude, that is a real movie.
And then people say, no, it's that movie with Shaq. But they both came out at the same time.
Jack's tall.
Or if you look at it, the Berenstein Bears. of
Berenstein, yeah.
Berenstein Bear. I read that book.
Then, or if you look at another one,
It'll be the Berenstein.
Stein.
Yeah,
The Fruit of
Berenstein
the
or
Loom,
Berenstein.
like your
Oh yeah, did you see where
had
that
the
somebody
cornucopia,
actually?
and then
Yeah,
they
Fruit of a
dumped-
Loom
yeah.
went as far they
The
like.
underwear?
Yeah, they were like, we've never had a cornucopia
Basically,
in
that's
our
that little,
logo,
like
which is like the
circle
Horn of Plenty.
package thing.
Like you see it
I'm
at
not a very smart person.
you see it at
Well,
like
you see, like,
Thanksgiving. You know, it's like a cornucopia with
yeah,
fruit
yeah,
falling
yeah.
out. You know, it's that wicker.
They never had that happen.
Yeah,
That's never
allegedly.
been there.
Allegedly.
They even came out with a list of all their logos and say that they never had that. And then this lady showed up and she had this T-shirt, Fruit of a Loom logo,
Had the
had the cornucopia on it.
She's raggedy.
But that also comes into the Hydron
Hadron Collider, yeah, at CERN.
where they
You guys are just like,
They're way too smart.
Okay, so basically the Hydron Collider is this. They built, I think, isn't it like 16 or 32
Okay.
miles of it's a
did
massive
you ever
circle.
see Iron Man 2?
No.
Yes.
Yes, you've seen it.
It's been a minute, but
Okay,
yes.
but all right, so he was getting sick, right? And so he had to make his own element.
yes.
And in his basement, he built that circle.
Uh-huh.
You remember, and it had like the particles flying real fast. That's what he was doing.
I remember that.
There's a huge one in Europe, and when they got going so fast, and what'd they do?
Basically, they spin. I can't remember what it is, but they spin it at like such speeds, and then they slam them into each other.
Yeah,
That basically to see what happens.
and they're saying that at that point,
That was during the first time they fired it. Was during Trump's
the universe that we knew collapsed upon itself,
Because
and we
basically-
moved into a parallel universe.
What they said is they were simulating the Big Bang Theory. So they're thinking if we can get it up enough speed, maybe we can simulate what happened.
I only know of a couple of big bangs, but they ain't the same.
Listen,
thing.
we're not talking about Josh and the Heavy Ladies. I'm sorry. Let me cut that out. We're not talking about Brownlee and the big girls.
We're gonna cut that out too.
No, I'm not cutting that out.
Get out of here with that,
So
bro.
basically, what they
I can't help out like my thick fine women.
Hey, I hear you.
so basically what they thought is if they could slam them
Sheesh.
together enough, they can simulate the Big Bang Theory.
Right.
And the theory is when they do that, basically it causes universes to merge or collide with each other, and it causes all kinds of.
You know what they should do?
Screw.
Speaking of colliding with each other, insurance companies should place every single vehicle that is made against another vehicle and see which one survives better and lower their rates. What's that?
What is that?
Don't worry about it. That's just that guy.
And then you have what's the other ones? You have Pearl Harbor, was supposedly the big
The
thing.
U.S. getting into the war.
Yeah, was
right?
the U.S. getting into war
Do you
because
think we're going into war again?
Eventually.
I believe so.
Eventually. We'll
You talking about war with China?
Anybody?
I believe so.
I
Probably.
think we're going to Mexico.
No,
Nah,
We're sending it all up and back.
I
nah.
don't think so. It wouldn't make
They
sense.
need to quit sending them back.
My
I got
guess
some
is-
labor I need some help with this summer.
My guess is more than most likely Russia or China.
Yeah, I would say China over
It would
Russia.
have to be China over Russia.
What do you think about what's his name coming in the White House for that
Oh, Zelensky.
yeah, with his joggers on or whatever.
It was a pissing match is all it was.
He lost. He got kicked out.
I saw that where they were talking about that on Saturday Night Live with Shane Gillis. If anybody
Shane
watched
Gillis
it.
is the man.
Shane Gillis is hilarious.
We need to get a hold of him.
But then
Not a
you
sponsor,
got,
but could be.
Yeah,
I
call
think
him.
he's working on that second season of Tires.
I got a 6-pack of Bud Light for him.
Oh, him and Post Malone, they have that huge cooler. They're holding cul-de-sac parties. Did you see that at the Super Bowl commercial?
I didn't.
That's 'cause
Yeah, I
you
know.
were
We tried to
asleep.
talk about Super Bowl commercials, and then only commercial we talked about was that Stitch commercial.
Speaking of Stitch, somebody bought me a Stitch costume.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
You gonna wear it?
I'm gonna wear it
Where are you going to wear it?
to bed.
Oh, well, I'm going to cut that out.
Actually, I think it's out there in the driveway.
Any other conspiracy theories we want to dive on this one? You guys want to see James back for some more conspiracy
Oh,
theories?
absolutely. But I got to get. He's got to come over. I mean, we are brother-in-law, so he's got to come over and like ramp me up for this stuff because I didn't do.
No,
any
I like
studying.
you coming in blind.
dude.
Because then that way you can hear the
This
different
whole week,
conspiracies.
I told my wife, I said, nobody's talking to me about what we're going to talk about Friday, so I'm going to be clueless.
Listen, I want you to be clueless sometime because I want a genuine reaction from you. I want
Sometimes,
like an actual conversation.
You get your crazy conspiracy theories, like your Illuminati's, things like that don't make any sense whatsoever because I guess people want that to happen.
I mean, Alabama thinks they're a good football team.
And
That's a conspiracy.
But then you got your others like I guess no, that would be too dark. So you can't go down that road.
Oh yeah, listen, we're not trying to have listen
That'll-
again. We have great driving records over here.
I mean,
we don't
do
feel like
not
killing
include me
yourself.
in that.
Basically, like
I have a very bad driving.
So listen, we don't need you to be like the people who got a car to run 100 miles off of 1 gallon or 1 gallon of water. We don't need those
Yeah,
people.
that guy,
Oh, sissies.
No, we can talk about that at another time.
yeah,
but
that's that
like
one,
all those people who do that, then the next thing you know, they
They-
died in some sort of car wreck or they had a
he
heart
didn't
attack.
even get a car wreck. He was meet with someone and then they poisoned him.
So,
But there's others like your Atlantises.
oh
Those
yeah,
are your
we didn't even
conspiracy-
get into Atlantis.
I believe in that. I definitely.
Yeah, but
don't
where do
know
you think
that
it
is.
is? You think it's underwater?
Yeah.
Oh, because there's some.
Is that thing underwater?
Yeah, basically that's
mermaids, bro.
Oh no, I don't,
Basically-
believe,
No,
I don't
no,
believe
no,
in
no, no.
mermaids.
Man,
You can't tell me there's mermaids out there.
I think.
Listen, we're gonna have to save that for another time, but we're
No,
gonna have to do another part 2 over here. You know what I
No,
mean?
it ain't that far.
Yeah, we're like 40 minutes in,
yeah, but you're gonna cut some out.
so we need to save some more for the next time we got James on here.
But yeah,
There's no
it's
mermaid.
not that hard looking.
I go to the beach every year and never seen one.
Just because you don't, as I said, just because you've never seen it doesn't mean it's there. They're always discovering new animals or they're rediscovering animals that went extinct.
There's not that many.
Think about how
would
deep
think.
the ocean is.
Yeah, and they've only discovered like I think 5%.
I mean, did y'all not see that second Black Panther movie? I mean,
No,
I did. I did.
I don't want.
there's a whole thing of people living underwater there.
There's not that much stuff underwater. You cannot tell me. That
So
there's that
anyway,
much
so tell me
SpongeBob.
why.
What do you
so
think about SpongeBob?
Back to the it's
on.
cartoon. It's cartoon. That's what I think.
conspiracies about
He lives-
SpongeBob.
All I'm saying
lives
is
in
back to we can full circle this and then we can wrap it up. But back to
There's conspiracies.
the
about
moon
SpongeBob,
landing.
so-
NASA used to only explore the ocean,
Well, NASA
and then there was an event that happened, and
How
then
the
they
hell you go from the ocean to outer space?
Well, NASA was basically created by Nazis, so
well. Anyway, it used to be
you can say
all
well,
ocean. Well, I'm
most
not,
of
I'm
the-
not trying to get into that. So I
most
was
of
just
the
trying to
top
full circle it so we
scientists-
could close it. Like Werner von Braun.
Yeah, most
Yeah.
of the top scientists were Nazis. They were brought over during World War II. Look up Operation Paperclip is where we brought over a bunch of Nazi scientists, and basically the head of NASA was Werner von Braun.
Yep.
I think he was Hitler's.
He was
head
Hitler's
of,
guy.
He was Hitler's head of rocketry, I think,
Yeah.
if I'm remembering my World War II history correctly.
So
Y'all got me messed up. I don't watch enough TV though. That's the problem.
That's not.
Well,
Well,
this is-
that's just history.
Well,
hey, listen. Oh, first of all,
I've been out of school
listen.
for a long time.
I'll tell you what. You watch TikTok like 1,000%, right? All
do.
day
I
you're
love it.
driving
Every day.
watching
I'll
TikTok.
be watching TikTok. I almost
cutting
hit
grass
I
watching
almost hit a
TikTok.
house on the lawnmower because I was watching
Right.
TikTok.
Told you.
See,
I told you.
so a big conspiracy is our phones listen to us,
Absolutely, they're going to tell me all kinds.
and so
of stuff.
now your TikTok is going to be full of conspiracy theories.
Yep.
it won't be. Mermaids are real.
Watch. You about
I'm
to see a
telling you,
mermaid?
you're about to see a ton of
Just look into conspiracy.
I will.
theories.
I
They're
will
that
not
hard
tell
to
my
get
daughter mermaids are fake, but I don't believe they're real.
But your phone is about to be off the chain tonight, boy.
I mean, we got a ton, like, for you're talking about kids, right? You're talking about Disney. That's what you're about to say. The whole
not
reason
getting
that
into
Disney made the Frozen movies was so people would quit, so it would replace Walt Disney Frozen as the number one.
Damn the cryogenics and.
I gotta go. I
Because
gotta
they were
go-
saying that he froze himself, right?
gotta go dance
I've heard that. Yeah.
And so that was like when you said, Walt Disney Frozen, like that's what came up. And so they made Frozen,
off of that.
no, to make it to where that wasn't what came up when people searched
Yeah.
Walt Disney Frozen.
Do you know how many times I've seen Frozen?
It's not even that.
That sounds to
but
me like you need to let it go.
Go.
Anyway,
even
we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up.
yeah,
Oh, come on.
No, we're gonna go ahead and
I
wrap
ain't
it
out
up.
of beer yet.
Well,
I can bring.
listen, we gotta save it. We gotta save
Shout
it.
out to Bottoms Up for keeping me fed with beer. And the new John Daly's sweet tea and lemonade.
It's called Good Boy.
Josh has never called a good boy.
No comment.
So anyway, we want to thank everybody.
Yeah, we want to thank everybody for listening. We want to thank James.
Yeah, it's no problem.
And Eddie,
I can always come out and teach you guys some more.
We'll have to have you out some more because it's like we were controlling this whole
my
pod.
heartbeat was going up in this conversation.
Was it? What were you getting so worked up about?
Yeah.
Because there's not
Because he don't-
dinosaurs, there's not mermaids, there's
There's a
not
lot
a flat
of things he
Earth.
don't believe in.
Yeah, but once you start getting down into conspiracies, you'll start believing it.
I was
You
raised.
should watch that movie, that conspiracy theory movie with Mel Gibson.
Do you know? Let me
It's
tell
a
you
great
something.
movie.
I pay a cable bill every month.
Yeah.
And I get to watch Frozen, Spidey and His Friends, or Encanto.
I
or,
can send you a YouTube video that'll let you like kind of scratch the surface, but it's 9 hours.
All I'm saying, Mel Gibson, conspiracy theory, great movie.
I'm gonna get a hold of Jennifer Aniston myself. But
Wow.
anyway, thanks guys for listening to episode 8. I'm Daniel.
And as always, I'm Brownlee. We want to thank all our supporters. Make sure you like and subscribe on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Pod.
And comment your opinions on this podcast because I want to hear about all your flat earthers and dinosaurs.